In late spring, fishermen from Holland will arrive on the island of Kralingenburgh. Because the long winters are cold on the island, the ships are filled with fresh provision for the local population. Every summer, the ships will fish on the rich fishing grounds surrounding the island. This part of the Dog's Bank is known for its herring, mackerel and crab. The arrival of the ships marked the beginning of summer for the people living on the island. With big celebrations, the ships are welcomed in. The arrival of the fleet not only means the start of summer, but it also gives the island a huge economic boost. In recent years, more and more people have been dependent on the fish industry. With the seasonal arrival of these ships, news will travel with them. Families will be reunited and hearts will be broken. The crews have to be quarantined for some time, to make sure they don't bring any mainland diseases. The approximately 300 sailors have to sleep, eat and live on the island. Their ships have to be maintained and, maybe more important, the men have to be entertained. So after 4 months of being a quiet little spot in the North Sea, Kralingenburgh is now a bustling harbour until the end of the summer. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Kralingenburgh. In this episode we're gonna do the fishing harbour. I was planning to do such harbour from the get-go, but I didn't really find a spot where to put it. And as the town developed, I found this small inlet, which is in the larger bay of the town, which is perfect for sheltering ships. Because I think that's where it originated from. I think right at the start, when the town was just a little settlement, I guess the ships who come here would shelter from the storms, and later on they thought, hey, maybe we could live here. And it developed from there on forward. The segue from ZILT, my other YouTube series, was that the fishermen from the town of Nieuwersluis were going to Kralingenburgh in the summer months to fish herring, and then in the winter months fish closer to home. Or the other way around, I'm not sure how that works exactly, but yeah, so there's this link between the two towns. As you see on screen now, I'm using the Seabot New Zealand assets. I think they're new on the workshop. I'm not sure, I think they're New Zealand shops, but they're color adjustable, so the roofs can be colored the same as the assets I'm using. So they really fit my team great, and I cannot stress enough how great the details on his assets are. My Kralingenburgh houses are inspired on his assets, so it's amazing. I think it uses his textures actually. So guys, sometimes I'm struggling a little bit with inspiration. I mean, I've been playing this game for years now and I have some ideas, but every now and then you need to be like reminded and refreshed by other creators. The only thing is I follow the big ones, right? The Skibbits, the $2.20, the Titans, the Jeremy Thunder, Dirty H. But I want to see more from some creators I don't know and some new ones. I need to be inspired a little bit. So I think what I'm saying is, could you guys leave some other people I should follow in the comments so I can check them out? I would really appreciate that. So what's happening on screen right now? I am building these flood walls on the edge of the dock. So the concrete parts, I think that's where the people work, and it separates the working area from the road. And then I make this flood barrier because what I didn't show on screen is that there is a gigantic waterfall upstream. I added that in the last episode. Problem is, I made a whole episode about it. It was really cool, but I had enough footage for the last episode, so I thought I'll put it in the fridge. Thing is, I actually accidentally deleted it, so no episode on the awesome waterfall, which has a tunnel underneath it with a road. It is really cool, love it, but yeah, what you do. But the waterfall does make the water rise and fall sometimes quite unexpectedly. You know how it is with water in this game, it's awful. So sometimes the dock area will overflow, but I think that's kind of realistic in real life, because I mean, when a lot of rainfall would fall upstream, I guess the water levels will rise. So I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. But here you see me adding this small ramp towards the boat ramp where ships can be launched, and you just saw one of those floodings. Then just adding some queues to try to manage. What I'm trying here actually is to bend the water away from the dock area, so it goes to a little bit more to the left and towards the locks, which I added first. But it's hard. I think it's hard to maintain water flow in this town. Actually thinking is where I'm working right now, where I'm adding the bridge. In due time, I'm gonna build I think a water power plant. I think that would make sense. I'm not sure, but like a little dam with a water generator. Now you just saw this weird overflow. I tried tens, hundreds types of houses to create some kind of nice boardwalk here. It didn't work, it really sucked, and at the end I ended up with this, which I think is quite okay, but it was so much footage where I changed and changed and changed it. I just made this weird transition, and I guess I called it a day. Same will happen later on for the fish market I built. I did so much PO, I think it would be awful to look at in this video. I do like how it's turning out right now. I'm adding some details, I'm adding some cobblestones, I'm gonna add some roofing, which weirdly I didn't add on video, but you'll see it appear later on. Yeah, at this point it was just a little bit messy of me working on this project. I sometimes forget to hit OBS when I'm editing. Oh yeah, here you see the red roofing on the front of the houses. And I reckon this is gonna be a fish factory. So the idea of this harbor is small fishing boats come in, and they deliver the goods they catch on the ocean, and this big factory is where it's going to be processed and I guess salted or something when it's being moved to the mainland. And what you see right now is the fish market. I really made a really cool, unique building out of it with PO. I transitioned to it right now, but honestly, it was so much fiddling around that I don't think it was fun to look at on the video. So I cut it away. I just made this weird transition, and well, now it's the fish market. You'll probably see it in the cinematics. I'm gonna make it functional. I'm gonna try to get the fishing boats in and go to this small dock. It's gonna be a lot of fiddling around to make it functional, because you guys know how fishing vessels work in this game. I'm not even sure if I can really try and make them less frequent, so the fishing vessels won't go out with 70 ships and come back with 70 ships. So if you have any tips on that, please leave them in the comments. Right now I'm just adding some generic details, some barrels, some ropes, a lot of these lobster boxes which work great on the harbors. I should make some crate assets with fish in them. That's still on my to-do list. I think the workshop would benefit from it. Yeah, and then I just add these bottles I made for ZILT. So the idea is these ships, they sailed from Holland all the way to the island to fish here for that season. And I guess it's still a tradition which is still being done today. Here you see this this cool monument someone added. It's like a navy monument, I guess, but I reckon it's for the fallen sailors who didn't come home, for the fishermen who went to sea and never returned. I like to edit it on the harbor entrance. It makes sense. It's the right spot, and it's a really cool asset. I'm happy someone built this. It sneaked through it on the workshop, and those are some of those assets you know you've seen them but can't find back anymore, if you know what I mean. But I just updated to make this small commemoration park, and then I just move on back to adding more details here. This area, which I'm working right now, is going to be just a maintenance area where ships are being risen onto the docks with the crane, and people work on them, clean the hulls, clean up the ships. I'm not entirely sure back in the days how they would really put them up there, so I just added these wooden studs underneath it. Struts, I'm not entirely sure what the right word is, but yeah, I just added it, and I thought it would look really cool in the harbor scene, and I just called it a day. Add some small rowboats, because I guess people own a lot of rowboats, and you can just leave them around everywhere, so they'll just drop them here in this little corner. So the last part of this build was doing some custom signage. I did that in Photoshop and edited with PO. I didn't add it to the video because it was just too repetitive to look at, so you will see them in the cinematics, which are coming up right now actually, because we're closing this episode. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. I had such a blast doing this harbor, it's always fun. Stay tuned for the cinematics, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. For now, like, subscribe, and you know the drill. Thank you all for watching. This was Jazz. Bye!